it's hard to miss, especially if you watch sports, all of the commercials from Indeed and ZipRecruiter and all of that. Talk a little bit for somebody who may say, what's the difference? What is the difference in working with you in referral staffing solutions and going on Indeed or on ZipRecruiter or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So ZipRecruiter or Indeed, LinkedIn, wherever you post your jobs, those are essentially job boards. Now, job boards have come a long way over the past couple of years, but it's still not a person, right? It's still just gathering as much information as possible. But if you have somebody who applies, like you can set up some steps in those programs to help ease some of the administrative burden with that. But when you work with an agency, we're able to go through and do the screening and kind of screen out the people that don't fit, that do the application process, and really save company face, right? Like one of the big things we see is when you don't have a dedicated recruitment team working on your open recs, we have a lot of candidates that fall through the cracks. So candidates that apply and they never hear anything. Candidates that go through for a portion of the process, you decide they're not right. So maybe the company is busy focused on the people that are right. Those people fall through the cracks. And that can really really hurt a company's image if you're letting too many people fall through the cracks without communication. Considered it ghosting, right? Like we hear it all the time on the candidate side. Candidates ghost us, they apply and they don't ever call us back. But it's the same thing on the company side. We need to make sure that we're communicating with those people that have applied, even if we're not interested in moving forward with them, because guess what? 2 years from now, we might have a job that's perfect for them. But if they have a bad taste in their mouth from a bad recruitment experience, they may not have an interest, or they may come in and be one of those cranky employees that you mentioned you may have upstairs. So like just coming in with a little bit of a negative taste, right? Like the onboarding process starts from the initial application. It doesn't start after you've offered them the job. Every step of the way is creating that journey for that employee. And so making sure that you have a system in place, and that could be, humans at an agency that really help those employees through that process and ensure that there's a full process from start to finish, right? They're not left hanging. We have a thing where we try to follow up with everybody before Friday, right? The Friday follow-up, make sure that people know going into the weekend where they're at in the process. Even if you don't have an answer, let them know like, hey, this is where we're at. This is what the timeline is. This is what we're expecting, but don't let people go into the weekend wondering what their status is.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp.